Hey guys, stay tuned for the entire video. I'm going to cover 3 of my favorite exercises for lower back stiffness and aching today. It works for a lot of people that we see in our office in Costa Mesa, California. And I'm going to show you exactly how we tinker with these things in this follow-along video. So get ready to get a little bit of effort in. Now, remember, none of this should really hurt at all. It should be effortful, but not painful in the way that you might experience your lower back issues. Okay? Just a couple things we are going to cover as good housekeeping here. There's 3 exercises that you've probably already seen. It's a bridge pattern. We can do it with a band like this or a band like this. I'll tell you the pros and cons of both here in a moment. We're also going to do a dead bug and a side plank or a progression of a side plank. Again, these exercises, they might seem like they're too much for you at this moment in time, but usually we try to get people to do the hardest thing they can still do well, challenging them to create some adaptation so the body doesn't feel weak and fragile anymore. Okay. By the way, if you're in Costa Mesa, California, come in and see us. We help with virtual and in person. We are the trademarked, locally world famous chiropractors, so locally world famous. So follow along with me today, okay? So we're going to start on the floor. I'll scooch back a little bit. I might move this mic a little bit, and you might have a little bit of a different view because of where the mic is. However, just listen to the cues that I'm saying, and don't overthink these things too much, all right? Now, do you need these to do the exercises? No, not necessarily, but I'll tell you the pros and cons here in a moment. So the first thing I like to have people do is place their hands on their belly so they can actually feel what their belly is doing. Now, you probably heard all these things about how breathing and things are helpful for back pain and hip issues and sciatica. They are, if they're important, and they're not important with everybody. So usually I just have people take their hands here just to take a note of what's happening. Your hands are a good feedback tool, and what we're going to see is we're going to sometimes see people open like this when they do the exercise, and other people will stay relatively stiff. We want to see that you're stiff, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to take the heels, both heels, and push them through the floor. Magically, your body will rise, all right? This is the full range of the exercise. Notice I'm creating a straight line from my shoulders, through my hips, through my knees, and I'm driving through my heels to do so, all right? What I don't want to see is this kind of thing. People get all crooked, or they start to push through their toes. Neurologically, that doesn't tend to work to get the right muscles working. What we want is the glutes to work. Where the glutes are is right back here, the big old handful of glutes, all right? It's not a pinpoint spot, it's a handful. And we're just going to do these until you feel those things working. Now, back into the hands here. We're going to keep the hands on the belly and just notice if your ribs start to pop up or not. I want you to control those ribs, and every time at the bottom, keep stiff, go up again. Keep stiff, go up again. This might take a minute to do so. Now, some of you might feel your hamstrings and your hip flexors working. This is why we use things like bands to help out with biasing the movement towards the areas we want to work. We want the abs and the glutes to work. And these are the things that are gonna make this exercise in particular productive for you as a remedy for back pain, not just something that you do as a formality. And something like a band here, like a hard glute band, you can actually take it, and I'm going to turn here so you can see how hard I'm actually trying to break it. The harder you break it, and then do the same movement, the more butt cheek you're going to feel. Now, we have a lot of people who come in and they're like, well, I still feel my hamstrings. Then break the band. Break the band like you mean it. I always tell them, I'll give you $20 if you rip that band in half. And as soon as they do that, they're like, oh, I got my glutes working now. And then we rep out through these things. This band is probably the best $20 US investment you can make if you're dealing with low back, hip, groin, SI joint, and things of that nature. So don't discount the value of something like this, all right? So go through that. We'll keep going, okay? And if you want to advance this a little bit, we're going to bring one knee up and take the other hand and hold the knee and hand together. This will automatically get the belly to stiffen up, okay? If you feel your hamstring again, push through your heel, get tall, get tall, get tall. Switch sides, same thing, get tall. Try to make a straight line from your shoulders to your hips to your knees at the top. And if you're not sure if you're there, hold it. Hold it and think, oh, I am making that straight line. Hey, my butt's quivering. Perfect, that's what you want. So usually I have people do this for, we call it 70-80% perceived effort, all right? Meaning 100% is, dude, I can't do this anymore. 70-80% is, okay, I was almost there, and it's almost like you can't really talk because there's so much effort. It's not pain, it's just a lot of effort and burning in the areas desired, okay? So that's an important note because as we go through these other two exercises, that's what I usually look for when working with people and successfully get them out of back pain. Even if they've had it for years and years and they have arthritis and they have a disc herniation, not a big deal. These exercises still work when cued well and put in the right time of their recovery. Usually when you're super acute, like you're on the ground, like you can't get off the floor and you're crawling to the bathroom, it's not the right time for this stuff. You gotta do something else first. So a side plank, I'll switch just because of this mic. And so we're just gonna pop up, make a straight line. And this is gonna sound real stupid. You know why they call it a side plank? It's because you're sideways doing a straight line plank, like a plank of wood, like at Home Depot, okay? It's not a side S, it's a side plank, okay? And if you really push your bottom foot in the back through the floor and you push your entire part of your forearm here, including fingertips, through the floor like you're trying to break a hole, you'll feel this baby start to turn on. Hold it for 10. And tap, break, and go. So we're going to go basically at this pace. Now, some of you might say, well, I can only, it started to hurt right now. That's my back pain. It hurts to start to hurt right now. Okay, do what you can. 1 second, pause, down. Pause, down. Or, okay, I start to feel it creeping right now. Okay, you should have stopped a second earlier. So you can almost anticipate like 3 seconds or 4 seconds is where your tolerance point is. And now we're just going to go a lot for volume, okay? Or some people who are a little bit less, have less ability to build endurance here, or they have less endurance here, we just have them up and down. Just the movement of getting there itself is helpful for getting the side core on, helpful for getting the hip glute on as well, which is also supportive for the spine. Remember, your spine's not damaged, no matter what they've told you about, you know, you have a herniated disc or you have a pinched that. Most people don't require surgery or even medication for these types of things. A lot of times the solution comes in the form of supporting the area so it doesn't feel like it's always being challenged with twisting and turning movements. Now the last thing is called a dead bug, and so this one, I'm going to creep up to the wall a little bit just so you can get an idea of some other options with this one, because this one's a little challenging for people sometimes because it really it challenges the rotational ability of the spine or the ability to resist rotation. And so a good starting point for most people, unless they're super acute, is knees up, feet up. I can literally see my toes. If I painted some stars on my toenails, if that was my thing, I can see them very detailed. I can see all the sparkles because I'm right here investigating them. Now, I can't see them right here really. So you have to look at the sparkles on the toenails at all times here. Now, the next thing we do is we have people place their hands on their knees, and immediately once you put your hands on knees, you'll start to shake. Now, a disclaimer here with this is that this shouldn't feel anything in the lower back. You should feel stuff into this region right here. You also shouldn't feel the hip flexor. Obviously the hip flexor is working, but it shouldn't be the dominant thing being worked in this exercise. So look at the sparkles, investigate them, hold, breathe. In the nose, out the mouth. And I'm shaking already. I'm shaking like a leaf in the wintertime. Fall time. Okay? And down, break, go again. 1 up, 2 up, look up, check out the sparkles and hold. Okay? If we want to really amp up the volume on this and make it harder, we're going to take one, place it on the other. So I'll switch a little bit so you can see. Here, place it on, we're going to place both here, and then we're going to move one down. It's not about the movement, it's about keeping this area engaged, okay? So for a lot of people, they can only go to here. They won't get to here. And a lot of people, when they do that one, they'll feel the clunk as well. So this is a good starting point for most people, and just a little bit of movement just like that, okay? Now, if this is something that really starts to like it's not working for you, you can also use something like a variation called a wall bug. I'm not close enough to the wall, so I'll use this pole here, or this barbell. And so you basically will find the position, one leg up, two leg up, look a little bit. You'll look a little bit less in this, but I just want to see the belly or the rib cage drop. And I'm going to push the barbell over, in this case, or in your case, maybe the wall. This will automatically get the rib cage down and flat, and then you can do this a little bit more aggressively because you're locked into the wall. So again, how much do you usually do these things, or how much do we have people do these things? Well, 70–80% of effort is usually pretty good. If you have not been through athletic endeavors, playing a sport, you might not always be aware of what perceived effort is. If you were to run as hard as you can until you pass out, that's 100% effort. This is 70–80% of that, but with this particular activity. So these things do work very well. If you have questions about how well they work, you can feel free to comment below. Tell me the favorite one that you did. And also, too, if you're really dealing with back pain and you don't know where to start, I've created a bunch of things that we can actually help you with no matter where you're at. We actually have a gift for you as well. There's a link in the description below. The gift is free. In some cases, in this case, we're doing a book. The book is basically helping you get to the point where you're going to find the recovery that you need. And also, it helps you find 6 different exercises and first aids for the area. So I spent a lot of time writing this book. It's very thorough, it's very concise, and it's helpful. A lot of people have really liked it before. So click on the link below and check it out for me. Now, the last thing is, if you have not subscribed to this channel already, please do so, because these video flows, these exercises for low back pain or hip or SI joint, IT band, even up into the shoulder, neck, elbow area, we're making a lot more of them, and we're releasing them weekly, at this point 3 days a week. So if you like the information that we're doing and you want us to keep making it, then tell us. Tell us what you like, share with a friend. The only way the YouTube gods will actually give us any notoriety and in these videos getting anywhere is literally if you engage with this video. So if you like it, please share it, like it with a thumb up, I think, and then just comment and tell me which one you like, and we answer nearly all the comments as soon as we can get to them. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.